Day 3 ice sledge hockey action, the host nation of Canada taking on Sweden in front of 5,500 fans at Thunderbird Arena. Canada gets on the board first as the puck dribbles across the goal line on a shot from Brad Bowden. Less than 15 seconds later, Sweden equalized on a breakaway from Nicholas Invarsson. This game's all tied up at 1. Halfway through the first, Greg Westlake makes it 2-1 on his way to a hat-trick in this game. Adam Dixon gets his first of 2 on the day, taking Canada up by 2. End of the first, Bowden nets his second on the day, 4-1 for the red team. To the second, and Westlake out in front, and he slaps it past Ulf Nielsen for a 5-1 lead. Canada with the man advantage, and Dixon earns his second goal with a hard wrist shot. Canada up by 5. Now watch this. Sweden with a 2-man advantage here, but it's Canada's Greg Westlake with the shot from center ice, and it bounces past Nielsen. An unbelievable goal, and the Swedes definitely want that one back. 7-1 Canada. Mark Dorian with his first on the day on his way to a hat-trick. Dorian would score the final 2 goals of the game to give the host nation a big win over Sweden. Canada outshot the Swedes 32-3 and beat them by a score of 10-1 for its second win of the tournament. Sweden suffers its second loss in as many days. Group A ice sledge hockey action getting underway at the University of British Columbia's Thunderbird Arena with a matchup between the United States and the Czech Republic. The Americans bringing pressure early on. In the first, the Americans on the power play and Taylor Chase with a hard wrist shot, but it's Taylor Lipsett that's there to capitalize on the rebound to make it 1-0 USA. To the second now, and the Americans driving towards the net. Joe Howard with the shot, but Vapenka is there to make the easy save. The Czechs with a chance, but can't make anything happen. Alexei Salmone with a great individual effort here. The speedy forward goes around the Czech defender and finished the play with a wrist shot that caught the upper right corner. The USA is up by 2. In the third, Jim Connolly with the insurance marker on a wrist shot that squeezed past Vapenka. The USA beat the Czech Republic 3-0 to seal a spot in the semifinals. The Czech Republic suffers its second loss of the tournament.
Day 3 in wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Curling Center. Round-robin play continuing. Norway taking on the defending gold medalist Canada. The Canadians won their first 2 games. Norway split their first 2. Norway leading 2-0 when they would steal a point in the third. Canadian skip Jim Armstrong with the hammer, but he can't get past all the traffic, and Norway collects the point to take a 3-0 lead. To the 5th, and Norway's lead is down to 1. Norway up 3-2. Canada lying 1. But Norway with the hammer or last shot of the end. Norwegian skip Rune Lordston trying to draw his stone into the circle. But he's unable to do it. Canada steals the point, and we are tied at 3. Norway would go back on top 5-3 before Canada would begin its rally. In the 7th end, Armstrong with the hammer, and he will promote his own stone into the house. A great shot there. They had to measure to see who would get the point. And it would be Canada's stone that is closer to the tee line, so Canada pulls within 1. To the eighth and final end, Norway up 5-4, but Canada lying 2. Norway needs a big shot or else Canada gets the win. Lawrenson can't get a stone past all the traffic. And Canada steals 2 points in the final end to get a 6-5 come-from-behind win. So Canada remains perfect in round-robin play with 3 wins and no losses. Norway falls to 1 win with 2 losses. Day 3 and wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Curling Center. Round-robin play continuing. Italy taking on Switzerland. The Italians lost their first game while the Swiss won their first game. Already up 1-0. Italy with a chance to steal some points in the second. Lying 4, Italian skip Andrea Tabinelli with the takeout of the Swiss stone. And Italy now lying 5 and with a chance to take a commanding lead. Switzerland, though, with the hammer or last shot of the end. And Swiss skip Manfred Bollinger just needs to draw his stone near the button. But Bollinger's shot is off the mark and goes through the house. Italy collects 5 and the Italians lead 6-0 after 2. To the third end now. Italy lying 3 and Switzerland with the hammer. Once again, Bollinger, who's participating in his second Paralympics, is unable to get the throw that he needs. Italy steals 3 more to take a 9-0 lead. To the fifth, and Italy leading 10-0, but Switzerland with a chance here to get back in the game. The Swiss lying 3 and with the hammer. And Bollinger draws his stone into the house for a 4th point. So the Swiss have cut into the lead. Italy up 10-4. But that would be as close as Switzerland would come. In the 6th and final end, Tabinelli would wrap things up. Switzerland lying 1. But Tabinelli uses the hammer to take out the Swiss stone. 3 more for Italy, and the Swiss concede, so Italy wins 13-4. Both teams now have 1 win and 1 loss in round-robin play. Day 3 in wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Curling Center. Round-robin play continuing. The United States taking on Germany. Second end, Germany leading 1-0. And German skip Jans Jager will draw his stone into the house. Germany would steal 3 points to take a 4-0 lead. To the third end, the United States lying 2 with the hammer and a chance to collect a 3rd point. American skip Augusto Perez with the throw, but he doesn't have enough weight on the stone. He will come up short. So Perez and the Americans have to settle for 2. The lead is cut in half, Germany leading 4-2. To the 7th end now. Germany still leading. The score 5-4. Jager with the throw. And he will try to take out the American stone. He does. But his stone will also leave the house, so the Americans steal a point there, and that ties the game at 5. And the United States would complete the comeback in the 8th and final end, with the Americans lying 1, Germany with the hammer. Jager looking for a takeout and a German win. He gets by the guards, but he will miss everything. So the Americans steal the point to take a 6-5 win. The U.S. has now won 2 of its first 3 games. Germany falls to 1 win and 1 loss in tournament play. Day 3 in wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Curling Center. Round-robin play, Japan against Korea. Japan would get on the board first. Korea lying 3, but Japan with the hammer. Japanese skip Yoji Nakajima draws his stone into the house. Japan leads 1-0. Very next end, Korea with a nice throw. tapping out 2 Japanese stones. Korea would collect 1 point in the end and tie the game, and this game would remain close throughout. To the third end, Korean skip Hak-sun Kim attempting to take out the Japanese stone. Instead, the Japanese stone bites the edge of the house. Japan would get 1 point in the end to take a 2-1 lead. In the fourth, Korea with the hammer. And a nice takeout here by Kim. Korea would end up collecting 2 points in that end to take a 3-2 lead. Now to the fifth. And Korea with another takeout. Koreans picked up 2, and they lead 5-2. But Japan would tie things up in the sixth. Japan with a takeout, and the Japanese collect 3 to tie the game at 5. To the seventh end now. Japan here trying to take out the Korean stone, but Nakajima cannot do it. Korea gets 2 points to take a 7-5 lead. And that lead would hold up. In the eighth and final end, Korea will tap out the Japanese stone. Japan doesn't have enough stones left to catch up, so Korea wins 7-5. Both Japan and Korea now have records of 1 win and 1 loss in tournament play. Wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Curling Center. The evening session of the round-robin tournament featured Sweden against Italy. Italy up early and lying 1, but Swedish skip Jali Ljungnell with the hammer in the second end. But he misses the takeout attempt. Italy steals the point to take a 2-0 lead, and the Italians would never look back. One of the few highlights for Sweden was this shot by Patrick Berman in the fifth. A triple takeout, knocking out 3 Italian stones. But believe it or not, Italy would put 3 more stones in the house to collect 3 points in that fifth end to take a commanding 8-0 lead. This game was never in doubt. Italy lying 1 in the seventh and final end. Italian skip Andre Tabanelli looking for more. And although his shot's a little short, Italy still gets the point, and they come away with an impressive 9-1 victory. Italy now has 2 wins and 1 loss. Sweden has lost its first 3 games of the tournament. Wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Curling Center. The evening session of the round-robin tournament featured Japan against Germany. Both teams split their first 2 games of the tournament. This night would belong to Germany. The Germans leading 7-1 in the fifth end. German skip Jens Jager with the hammer, and he draws his stone into the house. 3 for Germany, and they lead 10-1. Japan trying to come back in the sixth. Japanese skip Yoji Nakajima with the hammer and lying 2. And you can make it 3. The score is now 10-4 Germany. But that would be as close as Japan would get. In the seventh and final end, Jager will draw his stone into the house. Two more for Germany. And Germany wins it easily by a score of 12-4. Wheelchair curling at the Paralympic Curling Center. The evening session of the round-robin tournament. Switzerland facing Great Britain. The Brits looking for their first win. And they would lead 2-0 early, but Switzerland comes back to tie things up. Lying 1 and with the hammer, Swiss skip Manfred Bollinger draws his stone into the house. 2 for Switzerland, and we're tied at 2. To the fourth, Great Britain's Eileen Nielsen with the shot. She will tap away the Swiss stone. The Brits take a point and go up 3-2, and Great Britain would never look back. Later, with the Brits lying 4, Switzerland with the hammer, but Bollinger cannot draw his stone into the house close enough to the tee line. Great Britain collects 4 to take a commanding 7-2 lead. In the sixth end, still leading by 5, Nielsen will draw her stone into the house. Two more points. Great Britain goes on to an easy 10-2 victory. Both teams now have 1 win and 2 losses in the round-robin tournament.